Hi, I'm Brent Lanford. I work at the Middle Georgia Regional Development Center in Macon, Georgia, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about how geospatial technologies are in use on a regional level at the RDC. Before I begin, I'd like to briefly discuss what an RDC actually is. An RDC is a regional development and planning agency. They're called quasi-governmental planning entities. They serve a variety of services to all levels of government, local, state, and federal. The focus is primarily on local government service provision. We are all governed locally by a board of directors. There are currently 16 regional development centers in the state of Georgia. However, with recent state legislation being enacted, particularly House Bill 1216, in July, regional development centers will transition to regional commissions. However, our focus will still be on providing a variety of services, including geospatial data services and analysis, and we will be serving the regions of Georgia. We have oversight by a variety of agencies, state and federal as well. The Middle Georgia RDC particularly serves an 11-county region in the center part of the state of Georgia. We provide specific services in the functional areas of planning, economic development, CDC loans. The CDC is a certified development corporation. They do small business loans to spur economic development. Aging services. Most of the RDCs operate an area agency on aging and provide elderly and aging services. Government services or public administration, as is commonly known. Some of the services in that area are personnel and policy assistance to county and city managers. They assist with grant writing and acquisition and grant implementation as well. And lastly, and for the purposes of this demonstration, our geospatial data services, commonly known as GIS or GPS. The focus from this point forward will be how regional commissions or regional development centers provide GIS and GPS, geospatial data services and analysis. At the Middle Georgia RDC, in terms of the geospatial service roles we have, there are 5 areas in particular that we focus on. Data creation. We create a wide variety of GIS and GPS data layers for local governments, but as well for state agencies and other entities. We're a map production shop. We also do high-end cartographic products. We produce those for local governments on a custom basis and as requested basis. We also provide technical training to our customers. Technical training in terms of GIS training in an applied sense, and also GPS data collection training. We also, and most importantly, provide digital spatial analysis services. We will perform a wide variety of queries on data. We look at relationships between geographic data layers to solve particular problems for local governments to aid in their decision-making processes. At the Middle Georgia RDC, our geospatial data layers that are unique to us that we house and create, some examples are land use and zoning on the local level, community facilities. This is in partnership with the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. They aggregate the data that regional development centers and the Middle Georgia RDC compiles with GPS units, and they put out a statewide community facilities data set. On certain occasions, we work with county tax assessors' offices to maintain tax parcel data layer sets. In Middle Georgia, we maintain an industrial park inventory for the Macon-Bibb County Economic Development Commission. We also comprise and outline service delivery areas for the service delivery strategy steps that each local government is required to go through to look at service delivery and redundancy in those areas. And finally, developments of regional impact. We do a lot of mapping and analysis for those entities that have an impact not only on a single local government, but multiple ones as well. The geospatial objectives of the RDC. I want to first discuss our overall mission statement, which I think is in line with some statewide strategic planning initiatives that the governor has set out. Specifically is to plan for the total development of the human, economic, and natural resources of Middle Georgia. As Danielle alluded to earlier, the The governor has put forth some policy initiatives with these keywords to plan for a healthy, safe, growing, educated, and best managed Georgia. From this point forward, I'd like to demonstrate how Middle Georgia uses geospatial data techniques and technology to carry out these specific objectives in its service region. First up will be the healthy keyword. Middle Georgia RDC, in collaboration with the South Georgia RDC, put together an online mapping application called Wellstrom. It looks at putting together, using ARC server technology, an automated inventory process to do sewage and inspection and well inspection. We feel like this public safety has been improved through better record keeping on the local government level, and it was a successful collaborative effort. In terms of safety, Middle Georgia was commissioned by the U.S. Department of Commerce in 2001 to put together a regional hazard mitigation study. This study did some particular things through geospatial technology. We modeled flood inundations for a particular dam. We did some mapping through GPS of weather sirens to look at the paucity of coverage that was in the region. We found 93 industries to be at risk in flood-prone areas, which had a $200 million building property value impact, and that affected 6,800 plus residences. In terms of growing, we recently finished the LUCA process, the local update of census addresses. We mapped, identified, and geocoded over 240,000 individual addresses for the LUCA process. LUCA is a one-time opportunity or option for local governments to have a say in how the decennial census is going to be conducted. We feel like a more accurate population count through the LUCA process will help the census more accurately count its people in Middle Georgia. If you use the 2.5 census estimate of people per household, we submitted hopefully a potential population of 603,937,000 people, which could increase the region of, or grow the region by 360,000 residences. Education. Middle Georgia, as I alluded to earlier, provides a lot of GIS, GPS training to local government officials. We feel like the more GIS users that are out in the field, the more and better enabled local government decision making is going to be. So the more users that are using GIS, the better access we have to data and data access. And finally, a management perspective. Middle Georgia RDC provides some inventory systems that we feel help local governments manage their data better. For example, we do tax parcel management, as I alluded to earlier. We do that for Putnam, Pulaski, and Baldwin counties. And we also maintain an inventory on the parcel level for the Macon Economic Development Commission. Some impacts of geospatial projects. In terms of economic development support, Middle Georgia RDC does a lot of site analysis, site mapping and analysis, demographic comparisons for particular potential industries that may come into the region. Some specific examples as of the last couple of years are Kumho Tire, Nichiha, which makes ceramic-based siding products, and Kohl's retail store. Two of them are distribution centers. One is a plant, a manufacturing plant. As you can see, for example, Kumho Tire has a $225 million investment in the area and could bring 450 jobs. Likewise, $100 million and 105 jobs for Nichiha, and Kohl's could bring in $43 million with 250 potential jobs in the area. Lastly, through our Certified Development Corporation, which does business loans, we do mapping support for all of that work that the department does at the Middle Georgia RDC. For example, our Small Business Association loans, we had a $39.6 million total loan profile for SBA 504 loans. That was leveraged by the companies that got that money to $114 million with 1,300 jobs. You can see the examples for our U.S. Department of Commerce EDA revolving loan fund, USDA revolving loan fund, and the Georgia Rural Healthcare loan as well. Some geospatial resources that we use are the Georgia GIS Data Clearinghouse, various state agencies like DCA, DOT. We also use UGA ITOS and Georgia Tech. Some resources that we wish we had, in particular, would be access to the statewide ELA, Enterprise License Agreement. I think this is in the works, and this is something that we're very interested in because it will help us have access to GIS software that we can really help promote geospatial data technology in the region. Again, my name is Brent Lamford. Thank you very much.